What's going on, YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're talking about Superman issue number 24. This one is written by Joshua Williamson, and the artwork is done by some different artists this time around. But after the events of the previous thing, where they kind of trapped Doomsday into that little city or whatever it was, we kind of had a little bit of tension going on there. Lois Lane was now kind of becoming the enemy of Silver Banshee over the injury of Jimmy Olsen. And now she's struggling with the whole Superwoman thing and Superman and that. And so the issue opens up. They go to Lex'scorp, or Supercorp, I should say. Not Lex'scorp anymore. The whole thing has been about Supercorp. And we also get this. Look at that. Superman, or not Superman. Superman and Superwoman are out there watching Lex Luthor and Mercy Graves lock lips. And this has been kind of a trend I'm noticing with Joshua Williamson's Superman book. And it's really kind of apparent. Like, it feels like he's... I don't know if this is true or not. You can really feel like that shoujo, like manga, like anime influence. Like, so much of this book has been about like all these different couples just randomly coming together. Jimmy Olsen and Silver Banshee. Okay, Superman, or God dang it, Lex Luthor and Mercy Graves hooking up, locking lips in that here too. So yeah, it's just a lot of like, I mean, Superman and Lois obviously is the big one, but there's been a lot of couples just kind of like, it feels almost kind of thrown together in some ways. But you know, I feel like there has always kind of been something with Lex and Mercy going on behind the scenes. But when it comes to the other stuff, like Jimmy and Silver Banshee, it feels like it's another thing thrown in there. So I don't know, there's a lot of focus on relationships, it seems like. So yeah, they're kind of shocked to see this. But then we come to find out that Supercorp's been building all sorts of stuff and technology. Superman's like, oh, hey, we also kind of want to make some money here off some of the stuff. And Superman's kind of against it. But like, look at all this stuff it can do. But then there's something going on. And so the Justice League has to kind of go investigate. It's all the way in the pages of all the way back in Markovia. There is a little bit of self-glazing, I will say, in this issue right here. There's one moment they're like, Markovia, the whole country is still recovering from that devastation months ago. Event Leviathan and Shadow War, which, you know, Williamson did write, so they talk about, oh, the now classic Shadow War event. I wouldn't call it a classic, but there's some good stuff in there for sure. So all these different League members go there to investigate. They come to find out that some of the weapons there are being supplied by Supercorp, and they kind of bring it back there to kind of confront Mercy over this stuff. And Lex, of course, gets arrested. Some of his memories are starting to come back. And there's also this building tension going on between everyone. So, like, Lena's upset with Superman because he told the cops that Lex's memories coming back. Lois brings the Supercorp weapon. They go to confront Mercy, who does the heel turn. So Mercy is definitely like, okay, she wanted to kind of take over this, build Superman up to kind of be like what they wanted with what Lex wanted before his memories were gone or whatever, and wanted to kind of use Superman to kind of market some new stuff and, you know, make profit and all that too. So Mercy gets fired, and we also come to find out the big reveal at the end of the issue is she built her own Lex Luthor, because the Lex Luthor that we all know has kind of lost his memories, and she built this Lex for her own. You know what? I don't even want to know what she's going to be using this Lex Luthor for, because she was making out with the other one, but now she's got her own little robot Lex going on here. And she's got like kryptonite and her built in her heart and all that too. Is she going to be doing some weird stuff with that Lex Luthor thing? Probably. It wouldn't put it like, you know, I wouldn't put it past her at this point to be doing some freaky stuff with that Lex bot. But yeah, so having Mercy kind of turn the tables on it, I think is an interesting reveal. You just know eventually, like, Lex Luthor or somebody's going to snap, but instead of it jumping right to Lex Luthor getting his memories back and playing the bad guy, this time it's Mercy Graves. But then again, she's also done some sort of heroic stuff going on, but having her kind of be, like, the big bad of sorts, or, you know, kind of make that heel turn. She was perfectly fine working with them until she got fired. It's like, oh, you can't fire me, Superman, because of this. Dun, 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 dun. I've been building this own thing because we need Lex Luthor back, and I've made my own, so... Which is still weird to think about. Like, what is she doing with that robot? Is she going to go... You know what? It's best left to the imagination. But yeah, so there's still some good stuff in here. Artwork is a little bit different this time around. It wasn't Dan Mora doing it this time. I don't know why he didn't do the artwork this issue, but... Could be some other reason. No Jamal Campbell either. The style, I don't think, is quite as strong as, you know, some of the previous stuff in this run. But it still is pretty good overall. Like, you get the moments across and you get some action in there. Some of it is covered up a little bit by, like, when they go to Markovia and you get the rain in there. So it makes it a little bit more blurry, a little bit less clear. But again, that's kind of the atmospheric elements added to it as well. Having Mercy kind of turn into the villain of sorts in the storyline, with the whole reveal at the end, is an interesting one. I would have expected Lex to turn before her, but I think it is kind of a neat reveal, and it leaves me intrigued to see where the storyline is going to go from here. So, not to say I'm not surprised that she inevitably turned, because like you kind of expect something to go wrong with this whole Supercorp thing at some point, but they did play it off pretty well by making us think that, okay, it's probably going to be Lex who turns at some point, because Lex Luthor's always falls back into his villainous ways, but having it be Mercy, and that I thought was kind of interesting too. So yeah, and also like she's been testing your stuff in the field. Why give it to aliens when it's going to obviously backfire on you? So there's a few questionable things in that regards, but hey, it is what it is. So decent issue overall. I also think, like I said, Williamson's really been focusing heavily on couples in this Superman run, which here and there is fine, but it really feels like it's kind of become one of the things trying to drive the point across in like various things. Like it's like, I just want to get back to some other stuff. Like I don't necessarily feel like everything works in that regards, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah. All right. Well, I think I've said all I really need to say about this issue. Like decent one overall. Definitely not bad or anything like that. I think it's kind of neat that Mercy is the one who kind of makes the heel turn first off before Lex. And what's going to happen if she gets apprehended? Like, what's she doing with her Lex Luthor clone robot thing? And how is Lena going to react to this whole thing to see her father having been cloned and all that too? So we'll find out next time. Same bat time, same bat channel, I guess. Actually, it would be Super Times. I don't know. It'd be interesting, like a 60s version of like Superman. Like, what would they have done? Because like had the same. All right, I'm getting off track or whatever. So this is Superman number 24. It's a totally fine, serviceable issue. Not the best in this run, but certainly not the worst. Some cool stuff in there here and there, but yeah, it is what it is. But anyways, what did you all think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share with friends, subscribe to your channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all other fun stuff, and I will see you all again in the next video. Peace out.